You know, in football, when you lose a huge match on a bad call, the script is always the same. Blame the referee. But what happens when a manager just rips that script up and throws it away? Let's get into this story of a shocking loss and a manager's reaction that was honestly even more shocking.
And this right here is the quote that sets the whole thing off. Just imagine it. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick, literally moments after a soul-crushing defeat, just refuses to take the easy way out. This is so much more than a game. It's a powerful lesson in accountability.
All right, so let's set the scene. It's Barcelona playing Girona at Montilivi. And the stakes, they could not be higher. Barca is fighting tooth and nail to stay at the very top of the LaLiga table, but the game ends in a 2-1 defeat. It's a stunning result and a huge blow to their season. I mean, the final whistle is just minutes away. And then, boom, it's a total disaster for Barcelona. A goal in the 86th minute from Girona's Fran Beltran just completely flips the game on its head. It seals the win for the home team and leaves Barca just standing there, completely stunned. And, you know, the entire match was just this wild roller coaster. Barcelona had their chances, for sure, even a missed penalty right before the half. They even managed to grab the lead, but then Girona answers almost right away. It was this chaotic, wide-open game that all came down to that one single moment at the end. But here's the thing about that game-winning goal. It wasn't just any goal. Oh no. It came with this huge, dark cloud of controversy hanging over it. A single play that had every Barcelona fan and player absolutely screaming for a foul. Okay, so here's what went down. In the seconds leading up to the goal, it looks for all the world like Girona's Claudio Echeverri fouls Barcelona's defender Jules Koundé. For Barca, the play should have been dead right there. But the whistle never blows, and a few seconds later, the ball is in the back of their net. So the manager has every reason in the world to be furious with the ref, right? To push all the blame away? Well, this is where the story gets really, really fascinating. This is where Hansi Flick decides to take a completely different road. In the press conference after the game, he doesn't mince words. He acknowledges what literally everyone saw. He just says it. The foul was clear. With that one statement, he's telling his players and the fans, I saw it too. But then, he pivots. And just like that, there's the shift. He puts the responsibility squarely back on his own team. He says, yes, the foul was clear, but our performance just wasn't good enough. He flat out refuses to let a bad decision from the ref hide his team's own problems. And here's the core of his logic, right here. He's basically saying, how can I possibly stand here and complain about one call when our whole performance didn't deserve a win anyway? It's such a moment of brutal honesty, and it just completely dismantles any attempt to make an excuse. And just when you think he's done, he lands this final, cutting remark. He actually says the referees were just on the same level that his team played at, and then he adds, so it's maybe not a good level. Wow. It's such a sharp, almost witty way of just saying, look, we were all bad today. Now, to really feel the weight of what Flick is saying, you have to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This loss didn't just happen in a vacuum. It was pretty much the final act of an absolutely terrible week for the club. I mean, just look at this mess. They got thrashed by Atletico in the Cup. They lost their #1 spot in the league to their biggest rivals, Real Madrid. And the real irony? Just a few days earlier, they had filed a formal complaint about the officiating. The amount of pressure on this team and on Flick is just immense. So, what's the plan? Well, Flick isn't just pointing out what's wrong. He has a clear path forward. He knows his players are exhausted, so he's giving them 2 days off. Then they've got a 2-week stretch with no midweek games. The goal is simple. Use that time to train hard, get that hunger to win back, and come out ready to fight and attack to get first place back. Which really leaves us with this one big thought. When everything is going wrong, when the pressure is at its highest, a leader can either blame the world or they can look in the mirror. Hansi Flick chose the mirror. And the real question is that kind of brutal, no excuses honesty the very thing that forges a team into a champion?